10 Barnes Street, Providence, Rhode Island, July 5th, 1927. My dear Mr. Wright, in accordance with your suggestion, I am resubmitting the Call of Cthulhu, though possibly you will still think it a trifle too bizarre, for a clientele who demand their weirdness in name only, and who like to keep both feet pretty solidly on the ground of the known and the familiar. As I said some time ago, I doubt if my work, and especially my later products, would go very well with the sort of readers whose reactions are represented in the eerie. The general trend of the yarns which seem to suit the public is that of essential normality of outlook and simplicity of point of view, with thoroughly conventional human values and motives predominating, and with brisk action of the bestseller type as an indispensable attribute. The weird element in such material does not extend far into the fabric. It is the artificial weirdness of the fireside tale and the Victorian ghost story, and remains external camouflage even in the seemingly wildest of the interplanetary concoctions. You can see this sort of thing at its best in Seabury Quinn, and at its worst in the general run of contributors. It is exactly what the majority want, for if they were to see a really weird tale, they wouldn't know what it's all about. This is quite obvious from the way they object to the reprints, which in many cases have brought them the genuine article. Now, all my tales are based on the fundamental premise that common human laws and interests and emotions have no validity or significance in the vast cosmos at large. To me, there is nothing but puerility in a tale in which the human form and the local human passions and conditions and standards are depicted as native to other worlds or other universes. To achieve the essence of real externality, whether of time or space or dimension, one must forget that such things as organic life, good and evil, love and hate, and all such local attributes of a negligible and temporary race called mankind, have any existence at all. Only the human scenes and characters must have human qualities. These must be handled with unsparing realism, not catchpenny romanticism. But when we cross the line to the boundless and hideous unknown, the shadow-haunted outside, we must remember to leave our humanity and terrestrialism at the threshold. So much for theory. In practice, I presume that few commonplace readers would have any use for a story written on these psychological principles. They want their conventional bestseller values and motives kept paramount throughout the abysses of apocalyptic vision and extra-Einsteinian chaos, and would not deem an interplanetary tale in the least interesting if it did not have its Martian, or Jovian, or Venerian, or Saturnian heroine fall in love with the young voyager from Earth, and thereby incur the jealousy of the inevitable Prince Kongros, or Zelar, or Hoshkosh, or Norcog, who at once proceeds to usurp the throne, etc. Or, if it did not have its Martian, or etc., nomenclature follow a closely terrestrial pattern, with an Indo-Germanic name for the princess, and something disagreeable and Semitic for the villain. Now, I couldn't grind out that sort of junk if my life depended on it. If I were writing an interplanetary tale, it would deal with beings organized very differently from mundane mammalia, and obeying motives wholly alien to anything we know upon Earth. The exact degree of alienage depending, of course, on the scene of the tale, whether laid in the solar system, the visible galactic universe outside the solar system, or the utterly unplumbed gulfs still farther out, the nameless vortices of never-dreamed-of strangeness where form and symmetry, light and heat, even matter and energy themselves may be unthinkably metamorphosed or totally wanting. I have merely got at the edge of this in Cthulhu, where I have been careful to avoid terrestrialism in the few linguistic and nomenclatural specimens from outside which I present. All very well, but will the readers stand for it? That's all they're likely to get from me in the future, except when I deal with definitely terrestrial scenes. and I am the last one to urge the acceptance of material of doubtful value to the magazine's particular purpose, even when I deal with the mundanely weird. Moreover, I shan't be likely to stress the popular artificial values and emotions of cheap fiction. However, you can best judge this matter from some recent samples of my scribbling, wherefore I'll enclose, purely for your personal perusal, although God knows you can print 'em if you like, since nobody else is likely to do so, two characteristic neo-Lovecraftian outbursts, the Silver Key and the strange high house in the mist. I fancy you won't find much of professional interest in 'em, so that you may be sure your readers aren't missing much. When I do write any more things with a fairly earthly slant, I'll certainly send them along, but my winter fiction crop consisted only of 2 novelettes too long for any but serial use, and I haven't had the energy to type them yet either, whilst this spring and summer I've been too busy with revisory and kindred activities to write more than one tale, which oddly enough was accepted at once by Amazing Stories, despite its full possession of the non-terrestrial qualities so characteristic of my recent work. Toward autumn I hope to arrange for some writing leisure, and shall then get off my chest several plots which have been insistently clamoring for expression lately. Among these are at least 2 which I shall try on you, though they won't seem much like the recent Weird Tales type. I remain, most sincerely yours, H.P. Lovecraft.